Hey guys, you're watching 360 Rumors, your daily news for 360 cameras and VR. Today we're going to look at smartphone adapters and which one is the best one for your 360 camera. So first, the TLDR. If you have an Insta360 Nano, then you should get this Nano mount made specifically for the Nano. It's the best one I've found. It's not cheap, but it will hold your Nano very securely. It's got a very slim profile. This is highly recommended. Now, if you have the Insta360 Air or Gyroptic IO, then I would recommend this clamp branded Ulanzi, Ulanzi, but there are other names for it. You'll see in the links in the description. And those are what I would recommend. So now, as a background, there are now an increasing number of cameras that are like the Insta360 Nano that are they attach directly to smartphones. So the Insta360 Nano was the first one that did it, and it became very popular. So Insta360 followed it up with the recently released Insta360 Air, and now there's one from Gyroptic called Gyroptic IO, and there are several more coming on the way from other companies, mostly from China, that they use a similar design as the Nano or the Air. So with all of these 360 cameras that attach to smartphones, you can use them with a smartphone handheld, and many of them imagine that you're going to use it that way. But to get better quality shots, nicer shots, you should get a smartphone. You should get a tripod adapter for your smartphone. So these are the different tripod adapters that I've used, and here are the advantages and disadvantages of each one. So first, let me show you this one. This is a generic one that came with a cheap selfie stick that I got, and you probably have something similar. The tripod hole is at the bottom, so when using it with a 360 camera on a smartphone, first of all, the smartphone has to be in a portrait orientation, and that means that your selfie stick will be attached on the side. So on one hand, this is less stable because, you know, if you can imagine this selfie stick tripod, the phone hanging off on one side, and with the additional weight of a 360 camera, it's even less stable. But the selfie stick at least would be along this or near the stitch line. So the stitch line is where the two parts of the lenses meet, the two images from the lenses. And with the selfie stick along the stitch line, it will make it less visible in the shot. So that's one advantage. So it's a trade-off between stability and the smaller profile in the shot. The next tripod adapter I want to show you guys is this one. So this one I found in a dollar store called Daiso. It's a Japanese dollar store chain rather. And the hole is behind it. So that means that when you mount it on a selfie stick, the phone, let's see, the phone will be more or less centered with the selfie stick. So in that sense, it's more stable compared to this other one. But then again, the selfie stick will be more visible in the shot because it's further away from the lens, and since you're holding the selfie stick, your hands will be more visible in the shot as well compared to a design like this one. The next tripod adapter I wanted to show you guys is this one. This one's by a company called Accessories, Xsories. And with this one, you clamp, first of all, it has two holes, one on this side and one on the bottom. So there are many ways to use this adapter, but the simplest way is to have the clamp your phone there, with or without a case. And then there will be a hole on the bottom. So with the selfie stick attached there, it's almost directly below your phone. And if you have a 360 camera, then the selfie stick will be almost directly below the 360 camera, which means that it will be less prominent, and your hands holding the selfie stick will also be less prominent in the shot. Now, there are a couple of disadvantages with this design. First, the this smartphone adapter sticks out, so you're going to see that in the shot. And the other thing is the clamp is not super tight. I mean, you can only tighten it so much without damaging your phone. So if you're holding this this selfie stick, move it around, it can fall off just like that. So that's a risk you'll have to take. But one thing I do like from this adapter is that it's quite portable. It's the smallest one in the group, and so I keep it with my nano camera case because it doesn't take up too much space. And it can also be used as a stand for your phone. If, let's say, you're chatting, or if you could hold it like that, or you could position it like this, or like this. There's so many ways to use it. So because of its versatility, I like to keep it in my case. So the next smartphone adapter I wanted to show you was this one from a company called Vastar. There are other brands for it, but so this is a clamp, and it's got two holes in it, one in the bottom and one behind it. So you can mount your smartphone either in a landscape orientation like that with a selfie stick on the bottom, or with a 360 camera you would mount it directly behind it, kind of like the orange generic one. The difference between this one and the orange one is the clamp on this one is the spring on it is much stronger, and plus you have the screw on the bottom, on the side like this, or on the bottom rather, which allows you to use it in a landscape orientation. So it's a little more versatile than this one. So just like the orange one, the selfie stick will be more visible in the shot compared to like this design or the Accessories design. Finally, I wanted to show you guys a new clamp that I found. This one is branded Ulanzi, Ulanzi, and first of all, it's got two parts. There's the clamp that's kind of like the Vastar, and then there's like an L-shaped bracket. So these two they can be separated. So when they're separated, then this functions essentially like the Vastar, except that instead of using a spring like this one, it uses a screw drive So for me, it's easier to use, even though it takes a little more time. Plus, it's less likely that your fingers are going to get caught. So, but the best thing about it is this L-shaped bracket. So with this bracket, you can mount your smartphone vertically in a portrait orientation like this, and when you do that, the hole for the smartphone, or rather the tripod, will be directly below your smartphone. And so when you use your selfie stick, the selfie stick is also directly below your smartphone, and if you have a 360 camera, it will be below it, so it will be less prominent in the shot, and plus it's very stable. It's very there are not many disadvantages to this design. I mean, other than perhaps the bulk, I mean the size of it, but yeah, it's the best one I've found so far. So that's why it's my recommendation for a 360 camera like the Insta360 Air or Gyroptic IO. For the Nano, I still would recommend this one instead, but of course if you're going to use it with a smartphone, then yes, you should use something like this. The only disadvantage is when you're using it with the Nano, then you'll have to face the screen the other side backwards to give space for the Nano, like that. The other thing I should note also is that depending on the size of your phone, like this Samsung S6, the clamp, hang on, the clamp may be positioned near or at one of the buttons, like the one, in this case, the one for the cancellation. So you saw that, like when I clamped it down, it brought up this screen, so you have to like loosen it a little bit, or just exit out of it like that. So that's and there's no way to adjust it up or down, unfortunately. So that's one of the drawbacks of this clamp or this smartphone adapter. But otherwise, it is my favorite smartphone adapter at the moment. So those are the smartphone adapters that I've tried so far, and the advantages and disadvantages of each one. I hope you found this video helpful, and if you'd like to purchase any of them, look at the description for a link to a page where I have links to these adapters on Amazon. Thanks for watching, and please hit the like button and please subscribe. Thanks very much. Bye.